This is Natya Bester, co-founder of AdLunam and Altcoin Observer, here in such a special moment, Robbie, because we have known each other, since 2021 or 2022.
Yeah, for the past 2 and 3 years.
I mean, so just some context, CEO of Kommunitas, you guys have done amazingly well over the bear market, by the way, and I'm definitely very curious to get into more about why that is and kind of the strategies. But just for some context, I think it's always so important, these bear market signals, in terms of who was around back then and are they still here and have they been building all this time, as opposed to they were there 2 years ago but then they took a little break and did AI and now they're back in Web3 because the Bitcoin price is at 94K, right? Well, it's no longer at 94, but it was a while ago. So let's start with this crazy bear market that we've just been through. For myself included, it's not our first cycle. We know that this comes and goes, but I think this was a particularly painful one. It came on the heels of, SPF and Three Arrows Capital, and so much that was lost. And then it just kept on going and going and going. And every project in this industry was like TGE next month, TGE next month, and then it became next year. And at some point you're like, man, I don't even know anymore. We'll see. So tell me, how has this market, not necessarily for Kommunitas, how have you been experiencing this market? Do you think, what's been happening?
Okay, so for me, this is not my first bear market. I've been getting exposure into crypto since 2017. But back then, I was just like investors. Looking at my friend getting so much money from crypto, then we jumped into crypto. At the peak of the Bitcoin,
as one does.
Yeah, everyone. I think most of the people, they came into crypto for profits, for gains. When they look at their friends, suddenly they change their lifestyle. They say that they are making a good money, then they came into crypto. So 2017 bull market, I jumped into crypto. I buy some altcoins back then. I couldn't remember what coins, because when the bear market hits 2018, I sold all of them at like 80 to 90% in loss, because I was afraid that my money will go to zero, because I was not really involved in the crypto. At that time, I'm still managing my motorcycle spare parts distribution business back in Indonesia, so I'm really into my Web2 business. Then I sold everything at 2018. Then by 2020, the market started to pick up, and then I was looking at the price of Bitcoin, from the top of 19K, if I'm not mistaken, it drops to 5K, and then it goes back again, right? Then it kept me thinking, maybe this is not the end of Bitcoin. This is not the end of cryptocurrency.
I love it.
So then I decided to, then COVID hits 2020, then I decided to jump really deep into crypto. So the difference between the first bear market and this bear market is like the last bear market, we are not really involved into crypto, so I didn't believe. This bear market is different. When the bear market hits, we keep on developing our projects, then trying to make something, how to solve the problem of crowdfunding and IDO. Back then, when the 2021 bull, there's no refund policy.
Yeah.
But when 2022, 2023, then the refund policy is here. This is one of the changes that we make. So, and it's different. It's really different when we involve in the crypto than before. Last time I didn't really involve. So I think it was quite, I can say, amazing that we can pass all the bear market, because all of us, we believe that when there's bear, there will be bull market.
Right. It's two sides of the same coin. You cannot. It's our belief. We know it's our belief, but it's a belief that so far has played out.
Yeah.
It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, and it's gonna repeat it again.
Yeah. Not only crypto, stocks market, everything.
Yeah.
Right. if you zoom out of the stock market, you know, if you take like 20 years, 30 years, yeah, there have been it is going up, but it has like you know, pull back. You know, if we are looking at the chart, so it is the same thing in crypto and the stocks market.
But I'm curious, Robbie. Speaking of when TGE, you know, crypto is incredible because of the ability that it has to democratize people's access to money, to generational wealth, the potential to create generational wealth. But why are people so short-sighted? I know we all say it's a lack of education, it's a lack of adoption, but what do you think, what makes it difficult for people to understand? I mean, look, we come from a system that's thousands of years old, right? And this stuff, I mean, people don't sit you down, your teachers don't go, let's learn about money and banks today, right? Like you learn that when you open your bank account. So you have like no idea what's going on until you actually start doing it. No one ever guides you. I feel like, you know, when it comes to education, yes, crypto is more difficult for sure. But actually there's much more educational resources out there available than if I were to look for like banking resources, I think, because we need to help people. But so then with all this education, why is it always about when TGE, without understanding, as you say, everything goes up and down. The stock market experiences exactly the same thing that we experience.
Yeah, I think that, you know, one part of the reason is because like I said, everybody jumped to crypto because of the gain. Because, you know, they read the newspaper and the Instagram, the social media that somebody is making 1 million from $10.
And he's making it yesterday, so you don't want to wait till tomorrow.
You know. So everybody jumped into crypto thinking that they can find the next Doge, the next Shiba, the next, you know, whatever you call it. So, and I think, is it wrong? Yeah, in one side, yes, it's not really a good one, because then they will have this, the time frame of investing is kind of short, you know. But for me itself, I think we should think when we invest in crypto, it's just like when we are investing in other thing, like in the real world, as other assets, like when you buy houses, real estate, when you buy land, you are not like buying today and then selling it the next week. While in crypto, it's very easy for you to check the price, and the notification is there in your apps. So, you know,
it's almost like an addiction that you can't resist.
So I jump to Bitcoin at 90K, let's say. Then tomorrow is 95K. Then, you know, people are because their time frame of investing is kind of short, so they think I'm already 5K in profits. I wanna cash out, you know.
But this then is the perfect segue into what we are seeing in the market right now, which is very quick liquidity, or potential liquidity rather, not financial advice, through meme coins. So I mean, now it feels like we are at a point in the industry where it's like a boxing. I think Mike Tyson is fighting tomorrow. So it's like, so I don't know who are we the Mike Tysons, or is the meme coin the Mike Tyson? I think we, because he's the strongest guy. So you have IDOs on the one hand where, you know, retail investors have been promised the earth, the sun, the moon. Yes, don't worry, utility is coming in 3 years and 9, maybe 100 years later. you know, so retail investors are used to being, to hearing empty promises, but not really delivery, right? And I know in this early stage space that we're in, it's really about pushing the boundaries more than, because we don't know what's going to work. We are figuring it out, right? But now there's meme coins. Meme coins do away with VCs. So no more VCs dumping. No more KOLs dumping. You know, so suddenly it's like all the barriers that retail investors have actually experienced in a space where we are trying to onboard them, they are now saying, cool, no thank you, because memes are there, right? So what are your thoughts on, let's say, the medium to long-term future of memes? Versus IDOs?
Okay. So when you say medium to long term, what is the time frame of that?
Oh, I was hoping you were going to give the definition because to me, long term is like 2 minutes from now. No, I mean, this space is like really quickly. No, so I mean, so let's say, Bitcoin is on the up and up right now. We haven't seen that translate into altcoins yet. Do you think that we are going to see liquidity that is currently in the meme market go back into altcoins, or do you think that there are altcoin retail investors that now have said, no, done with this, I'm a meme coiner now?
Yeah, I think with Murad and any other KOL agree that this is not gonna be another altcoin cycle. It's like super meme season. Yeah, and in my opinion, I do agree with them. Like, people are there are a lot of utility tokens. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 now even. And it's very hard for them to understand what is the utility behind that. And like you said, many people, they cannot jump into early stage. All the VC will make them as the exit liquidity. Now in the meme, it's like kind of fair launch. Yeah. So pump the fund nowadays. So I think, yeah, this cycle gonna be different. In my opinion, it's really gonna be after the BTC, after the liquidity from Bitcoin, maybe it will really head into the meme coin. But for long-term wise, no, I don't think it's gonna survive. Just like when we started back in 2020 and 2021, it was GameFi. If you still remember, Axie Infinity, then like thousands of projects coming with Axie Infinity. But nowadays, if you check on GameFi projects, that's not really sustainable, I can say. It's very hard for them to attract users. Yeah, so this season, in my opinion, it's gonna be meme and also gonna be Telegram mini app season.
So let's say I am a project that is not a Telegram mini app and I'm not a meme. I don't know if you guys exist. I think there's only those two projects out there right now. But so I'm not one of those two. I've built something that is incredible. I know the world's gonna love it. But VCs won't give me the time of day because they only want meme coins. KOLs, they don't even talk to me because they're out there promoting the meme coins. And the retail user base, they don't care if I exist or not because they're laughing at, well, I don't know if they're laughing at Mudeng. I think no one laughs at Mudeng. You love it. Maybe kiss your phone, but that's not the detail we'll go into here. So everyone has now a relationship outside of, the space in which this project is wanting to get institutional funding, get on a Launchpad, get on an exchange, launch the utility token, and there they go. So what are you seeing for these projects in terms of there's no noise for them because no one is listening to them? Do you think that that's going to change with the BTC liquidity coming in?
Probably, because this cycle is about meme and Telegram mini apps. But maybe the next cycle, if they can build something which really has utility and people will use it and love it, maybe it's going to be another season coming in. So as long as they keep on building, I know it's really hard to get into VC's funding for those utility token and apart from meme and Telegram mini apps. But I think it's not the end. I mean, there will be
it can't be, right?
Yeah, it can't be.
This can't be the end. Is this all that we've... Is this what the Bitcoin white paper was about? I don't know. So Robbie, in terms of narratives, we know narratives are, they come and they go, whatever's hot right now. But are there certain narratives that maybe they're a long way off, maybe they're not so far, but are there certain narratives that you are like, man, I'm keeping my eye on this one because I want to be early when this comes out?
Okay, it's apart from Telegram mini apps, then for me it's like AI agent. Because AI is evolving really fast. So I think, we know there's one Twitter account, Truth of Terminals, So I'm thinking that in the near future there will be many tokens and which is created by AI and managed by AI. So Yeah, that is.
I remember a while ago when ChatGPT came out, and there was this publicity about, I think it was a company in China, and they had the world's first AI CEO.
Okay.
And I think pretty soon we are going to have the world's first AI autonomous agent founders.
Yeah.
So when you do due diligence, you are going to give it's going to give you its database history of everything you've spoken. No, I have your history here. I'm your ChatGPT. I know you already. You don't have to say anything. I'm doing due diligence on you. But there's so many changes, and I think the privilege of living. I'm saying living, but it's really like living in a different world, I guess. The privilege of being in Web3 and in any early stage tech is you get to see things before it becomes reality, and then you're like, wow, this is going to be a crazy world. So do you think that AI is that thing for you, that if you look at what's happening now and you're like, man, 10 years, 20 years from now, it's going to be a different world? Do you think it's AI, or is there something else?
Yeah, it is AI. For me, AI is like the brain for a robot. Humanoid, they call it, right? Now, they have been building this robot, but there's no brain. So ChatGPT and all those AI, in my opinion, gonna be the brain that makes them really, can think like what we have seen in the movie. So yeah.
So on that question, I mean, we've seen a lot of LinkedIn, I don't want to call them autonomous agents, because the buttons are still being clicked by the human who owns this ChatGPT. But we see a lot of content on LinkedIn where all the comments are, ChatGPT generated, and the post is ChatGPT generated. So I feel like in the tech space, we are becoming more and more sort of removed from one another, and there's this buffer of AI in between. But then in Web3, we are so community focused, right? Like it's almost this dichotomy. So do you think that as AI becomes, because the empty internet theory, the internet's full of bots, like all of those things, do you think that in the crypto space, where we are already so used to bots, I mean, like if you look at a Telegram post, the chances that 1% of those likes and comments are real people, because literally it's just all bots, and it's like you name your bot. This is Bob, this is Mary. So do you think that the crypto space is going to handle this transition a little bit differently, because we are already used to the problems of not necessarily AI, but we are used to dealing with problems in tech. Like that's actually all we deal with, is just problems. So do you think we'll have it easier?
I think so, because in the industry like crypto, everyone's trying to get attention. That's why like people they've been trying to boost up their likes, views, and followers by using bot. But it's not, even though it's not the real like utility, I can say. But I think, we get used to bot a lot easier. And, apart from if I'm not in the crypto industry, I don't think I will deal much with ChatGPT. But since I'm in the crypto industry, like using ChatGPT for my assistant to help me get some answers is one of the best.
I think the fact that you can exist on the forefront of technology, see what the opportunities are, see what's missing, and understand that perhaps you can fill that gap, or someone might fill that gap, or someone in your industry might fill that gap. That's a very different relationship with technology than someone who is just using it. But so, a question that I'm dying to ask you. We have been seeing a lot of very interesting fundraising models over, I think, this bear market. We went from pure tokenization to an equity hybrid, to equity token split. You said earlier we went from no refunds to now the refund policies that's different for every Launchpad. I mean, you might have a 2-day refund policy here and a 7-day refund. So it's crazy. You have Fjord Foundry over there. You have like all these pockets of fundraising, and the 50% unlocks that are now popular. And so there's been a lot of changes in the space. Which of these do you think are good changes, like they needed to happen? And which of these changes do you wish would stop changing and go back to the way it was?
I think the refund policy model is quite interesting, especially for the users. I know with this refund policy, a lot of projects, when they approach us, they say that, wow, it's not really fair. Like your users will, like, no risk. Your users will have no risk. But then for me, it's just a way for us to protect our users. Like, when, in the past bear market, a lot of projects, after we release the fund to them, they just suddenly abandoning the project. They just don't reply anymore. And even worse is, by the day of the listing, the liquidity is not there and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so refund policy is not only happening in some launchpad like us. What I read is even Bybit with the web, their IDO, they also trying to implement this refund policy in the Bybit Web3 IDO, not the exchange one.
Right.
So I think, we are heading to the right direction. And from the perspective of a project, I think you don't have to think that, raising fund in the public is your only choice. Like, you can raise from any other sources. You can raise from your own community. It's not, Launchpad is not only for fundraising now. It's like, for me, it's more to like a marketing agency and for your first exposure. When you get into Kommunitas, you get exposure to our community, at least. I've seen some projects, they launch with us, they have like quite high refund policy, but when they keep on building, after several months, like 2-3 months time, their price keep on getting higher, because they deliver the roadmap. So yeah, I think
there used to be, I'm saying used to be in the sense, before there were very clear signals that retail could follow to do due diligence, right? We always tell them, do your own research, and then how do you do that? Okay, you look at what advisors they have, you look at the exchanges they're on, the launchpads. Do you feel like those signals are changing? Like, is what retail investors looking at, is that changing?
No, I think it's still the same. It's just that, like you said, because now is the meme season, like the liquidity is just not really there yet. Yeah, they maybe prefer to put their money on some bonding curve on the Palm Fund who just graduated,
But it's also quite interesting because I think memes are allowing people to have fun again. In different ways. Yeah. Some people are having fun because of the risky aspect of it. Yeah. Other people are having fun because they are. Murad, I think, is a good example of this cult-like community that's being built, and so it really is bringing out, I think, a new, maybe repackaged, but a new side of the industry where there's once again excitement after a long time.
Yeah.
But do you think that is harming the industry in the long term, in the sense that now people might lose money here, say, no, to hell with this, I'm not going to lose money again, I'm out of here? Do you think that there's a risk of this, or do you think that it's the perfect Trojan horse for people to come in and then stay in and invest in IDOs maybe beyond memes?
I think, it's harming some people because, for some people, they know how to do money management, good money management, so they like having fun with the meme. But some of them, when they jump into crypto, they put all the money in the meme, and they lose money. So but I think market is we cannot fight against the market, go against the market. So even though it's now the meme season, I believe that it will also, when the bear hits, the meme season will also
fizzle out.
Yeah, void then I think it will go back to like the utility token and all stuff.
So as a final question, we have had an amazing week here in Bangkok at DevCon. My first DevCon, not going to be my last. I'm super impressed just by how I'm inspired again. I'm happy to be here again. But you build on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You are out there inspiring your team every day, your community. What drives you? What gets you out of bed in the morning? Even I think I now have almost like 24 plus, I don't know, 12. 36 hours of no sleep.
Oh wow!
But I'm able to do this because I love what I do.
Yep.
You know, like the tiredness will come back later when there's nothing to do. When I'm sitting still, I'll feel tired. But when I'm going, I just want to be in this industry. I want to push it forward. I want to make sure that these things happen. So what is that thing that drives you on a daily basis?
Okay, because I think that the crowdfunding ecosystem in the crypto space is really still early. I mean, yeah, a lot of people still skeptical about it, but I believe that there will be a bright future. Like when because we are pretty much inspired by like Web2 crowdfunding, like Kickstarter, Indiegogo. We want to build something like that in the future. So yeah.
I think you have already been incredibly successful. I said I would get to this, so I actually lied. This was not the last question. This is the last question.
Okay.
How did you manage to not only keep your head above water as a company? I mean, you started at the start of the bear market. None of us knew how long it was going to go. Yeah. It was like COVID, right?
Yeah.
It was like the COVID, the Web3 COVID, because you had real COVID and then you had
Web3 COVID.
Right, and that was horrible because you had no idea when it was going to end. But despite all of this, I mean, I've been watching you guys over the last few years, and you have really just continued to build, continued to grow. Some of the top companies in the space went into hibernation.
Yep.
Especially in this particular space. Yeah. Like you guys, you were out there, you kept on going, you kept on building. So what was the secret to you sitting here with me today, having not only survived that market, Kommunitas is one of the top launchpads in the industry. How did you do it? Tell me your secrets.
I think the first secret is because 80% of our team members are from Indonesia, where like our operating cost is not that high. We have like 30 plus in the team member, and I couldn't imagine if we have to hire like
New York
European and New York guy. I don't think we can survive. This is the first, and it's because we have a very quite low operating costs expenses, and then we always try to get updated with the market. Previously, when we first started, end of the bull market, you say. We are not taking any service fee or payment upfront. Now we change our model, because we need to survive.
Right.
So, and also we have bring our brand to at least top 10 launchpad in the industry. So now we are charging everything upfront. So I can say this is one of our secret that we can keep on moving forward.
I totally lied because this is now the last question, but that's your fault because I just thought of this. I'm really fascinated by how you look at the traditional business world, revenue models. I mean, that's why people create businesses, is in order to create revenue, to generate revenue. But we totally forget that here. Yeah. We are like, no, we'll worry about the revenue like a few years from now when there's more mass adoption. But I do see a shift now, and of course it's because of the conditions that the market has been in, with more companies. I mean, also, first of all, more VCs are saying, I don't want to hear your idea, I want to see your product.
Correct.
So that's the first thing. Yeah. And then the other thing is, okay, cool. Now, what do you think about this? What is going on? How are we going to get out of this? How are projects going to go forward?
Yeah, I think like you said, we nowadays is no more about MVP and white paper.
Yeah.
Last time, you can raise like millions by white paper and MVP.
So when I started in the industry in 2017, I was pretty much doing white papers full time. Okay. Because you could make a living, and a very good living, on white papers. Okay. Because that pretty much was the entire company.
Correct.
So when I created the white paper, that meant I basically created, I put the whole business together. And I wasn't getting paid for strategy, I was getting paid for a white paper. So it's good that we have moved from there.
Yeah.
But do you think we are now in a limbo state where we are not there, but we're not here yet, so we're not getting what we want or what we need yet?
I think we're in the middle of it. I mean, like you said, we used to raise funds from only white paper and MVP. Nowadays, it's quite impossible, I can say, unless you have a really good relation with those top tier VC, or maybe you're someone, like you're exit founder, But and we have also seen some projects like Pump.Fund without any VC. They are just building their utility, then everybody's using it, and they're cashing out like millions every week, So I think we are shifting, and it's a good thing.
No, I think so too, because I think the problem for a long time has been that we focus on the token at the cost of literally everything else.
Correct.
Because when there's a focus on a token and there's a shelf life in terms of how long that focus can be, that means when that focus is done, the company is done, because the token was the entire company. And I'm really happy to see that now. It was a crazy time, and I'm glad that I experienced it, the ICO Wild West days. But thank goodness we are not there, and thank goodness we are now starting to come to a point where projects are going, you know what, maybe it's not about the token. Maybe it's about the fact that I am really, really passionate about this thing that I want to build, and I know that maybe I'll need to eat some ramen on the way there, but do I need VC money? Maybe there's a different way. Maybe I can try making revenue.
Correct.
So I'm seeing this shift now, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, like many founders, they, in my opinion, they should think about the revenue. Like starting a crypto or Web3 projects is just like any other business out there. Even though you get many funding from the VC, if you cannot make it sustainable with revenue, then there will be the end at some point.
I want to point out that when you said crypto is just like any other business, this means we've matured as an industry, because a few years ago you couldn't say that. You couldn't. It was just not true. And now we really are at a point where we are like, hey, if you want easy money, yes, there are still pockets in the industry where that's possible. Of course, we are decentralized finance. I mean, we'll always innovate and create opportunities first in the financial space. But it really is not as easy as it was a few years ago, and it's like that's gone. It's over. It's bye-bye. Like we'll never get that back, and that's good, because I think a lot of the time it was only ever about the money, and the community. Even when they thought it was only about the money for them also, they didn't understand how much it was just about the money for the teams. And I think that the 2017 teams compared to 2024 teams is like, it's like champions compared to kids, right? Because now you have founders that go, listen, I'm European, this is the hardest market in the world. I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay here and get regulated. Like that wasn't possible in 2017. In 2017, everyone's like, cool, we'll just go where somewhere else we can do whatever we want. And now people are fighting the fight. They are taking on the big guys, and they'll say, listen, I'm Web3, but I'm here to stay. You might not like me. You might not understand me, but I will help you. I will fill out all your forms. I will go through your processes. And so I really see us maturing as an industry. So now I want to have a little crystal ball over here. I don't know why I don't have a
crystal ball.
This imaginary crystal ball here. We are sitting here. It is, I don't know, 5-10 years from now. What do you think we are going to be talking about then? What will be today? It's memecoins, it seems. But what do you think we're going to be talking about in 10 years? Do you think we're still going to be talking about crypto at all?
No, I think at that point, crypto has already get mass adoption. Like. Connecting wallet and everything is like everyday stuff. People will have it. Now, when we are talking about crypto, it's just like email back in the year of 2000. We know email back then, but not everyone have email.
I was thinking about it this morning because I looked for an email and I realized that my history only goes back so many years. And then I was like, oh, but what did I have before I had this account? And then I realized, no, but I wasn't using email on a daily basis, so it didn't even matter what an email. So you're right, we've come such a long way. Do you remember the time when to say send me an email sounded super formal? Or just impossible, actually. And now we're at a time where we're saying send me an email makes you sound old. Right? So we've gone through that whole cycle. And I mean, now email is just part of our lives, and it's a practical thing. We use email when we need to use email, and we don't use it when we don't. And I think, as you say, in 10 years, hopefully a lot of this will be invisible. And we will just have superior experiences, superior to the alternative, and these experiences are driven by Web3. As opposed to, we have to have a Web3 experience. No matter what we do, we just have to check that box, which is good for playing around, but not good for, let's take to your phone right now, how many Web3 apps are you using right now? Because for me, it's my wallet. And I don't use my wallet every day because I don't need to use my wallet every day. So I always say, if you're not building for someone who is in the industry already and is dying to use your product on a daily basis, or at least use it regularly, then we still have more work to do. Because you said earlier, it's the attention economy. Everyone is trying to get everyone else's attention. And I think ultimately, I mean, how? We can't. So we just have to stop, wasting time and just say, hey, there's these people, they want something. What is it they want? How can I give them what they want? So seems like right now everyone wants memes and Telegram mini apps, so that's okay. We'll enjoy the December holidays and lick our wounds, and then next year the altcoin season will return. Robbie, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm so grateful that we were able to do this. We weren't sure the other night when we saw each other if it would be possible, and I was. Shout out to that amazing event that we were as well, TPV event. So as a final parting thought, if someone takes nothing else away from this conversation, what's this one thing that they should remember and walk away with?
Okay, so I think that I always say this, but we are really early. Like, I mean, a lot of people heard about Bitcoin. When you go outside and ask them, do you know about Bitcoin? They said, but do you own it? No, they don't own it. Not like gold. So I believe within like 5 to 10 years time from now, everybody will not just heard Bitcoin, but they might own like a portion of it. When the mass adoption is there, when the US now, they're moving into, they said that they're gonna use Bitcoin as their reserve, maybe more of their country alliance will adopt the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Robbie, thank you. This is the best and most beautiful note to end off with, because I think we all have the privilege of sitting here today because of Bitcoin and just wanting to provide an alternative to what's already there. And as many problems as there are in this industry, I mean, I feel like I'm only ever complaining. Like, when can I talk about things going right? But as many problems as there are, I think we've come such a long way already. DevCon for me was like really this experience of realizing we've built this. Like, this is us. This has been us over, I'm like getting goosebumps again. This is us over the last like however many years, showing up every day, making mistakes, failing, losing your mind a lot of the time. But here we are, right? And now it feels like a serious industry where, yes, some parts of it are maybe not so serious yet, and that's also good. We don't want to be all serious, but there's enough seriousness for anyone to be able to sit together at a table and say, what do you do? What do you do? And find common synergies. Because that wasn't the case 5-10 years ago in the industry.
I agree with you, because if I'm looking at like Indonesian community, especially, when people come to me, they ask, what do you do for a living? Crypto. Then they will say, really? Crypto, you can live out of crypto? Isn't that, like the price going up and going down really fast? Yeah, but I'm not a trader. I say, this is still something nowadays. It's still something not that cool, but And thank God for that, because I believe that it's still early.
Well, I think you're very cool. So whenever your neighbors tell you you're not, just I disagree. Robbie,
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been
my
just
pleasure
I loved being
Yeah.
able to spend this time with you. And in terms of Kommunitas, what's your outlook for 2025? Are there any projects that you are looking for, specific narratives? What is going on in terms of where's things going for Kommunitas?
For the narratives, it's still, like I said, it's Telegram mini apps. We do launch some meme, and also at the moment we are building something like Pump.fund, because it's still a crowdfunding ecosystem. We always say that Kommunitas is a crowdfunding ecosystem. So not only Launchpad, we will call it fair launch. So it's like there's no due diligence and everything. Everyone can just make their coins similar like Pump Fund,
but
with refund policy.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Maybe,
well,
we're still building it. So.
Is this the alpha that I'm getting right now?
You can call it alpha.
So, what are your plans in terms of launching it? Do you have any sort of series of dates in mind?
Maybe Q1 next year.
Okay, well, we'll definitely be looking out for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Robbie, thank you. I so glad that we were able to connect in person. I mean, the difference between being in person and being online is insanely huge, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes such a difference. So I'm now able to fully say that I support Kommunitas. I've supported you in spirit, but after really just spending this time with you, and I think hearing that you are thinking for the business, and that the business might need to pivot in some ways, as we all do, because it's a moment in time that we catch that wave. That you really are committed to the future of, I think, of crowdfund money in the space, which is why I'm also here, which is why we are here, to help people, to empower themselves, to help them help themselves, but in a safe way, right? Like in as safe and as I don't know if you can ever call it safe, but let's say safer.
Yeah, safer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Natya with Altcoin Observer and AdLunam with Robbie, the CEO of Kommunitas. Where can people follow you? Where's your favorite social media app to hang out?
I think Twitter, X.
So you're definitely a DJ then. I'm still on LinkedIn, so that says a lot. Cheers, guys.